Hello and welcome to a new video exposing Mayor Cheat for his exploits. Now, let me get introduced to this whole subject, and that is that I'm going to give context to this Iowa caucus fiasco. And it has been almost like about 50 hours since we should have gotten the results from this terrible caucus, only to get, like 95% of the precincts in. And within these, with this context, I'll give you that Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders are tied for delegates, but are within less than 1% of the popular vote, which is led by Pete Buttigieg. Now, assuming that things stay to plan, hypothetically speaking, it would seem to me as if he's going to win the caucus. What does that mean? Pete Buttigieg needs the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire win, plus Biden to collapse in order to win the nomination over Bernie Sanders. Now, Mayor Cheat has used several ways to cheat in this Iowa caucus. Now, number one, he has invested tens of thousands of dollars of the campaign money into this app developed by Shadow Corporation or whatever to make this app for the voting and the placing of the delegates in Iowa. And so this app that was created in like 2 months, which is way too short for an app of this important. So this app was requested to be checked for clearance and to make sure that nobody hacks into it by the Department of Homeland Security. But whoever owned that said that they wouldn't want one. So that's a red flag. And then you find out, okay, well, who would say no to that? Well, let's say that Hillary Clinton veteran staffers own that company and founded that one. So we have Clinton people that are running this machine. We have Buttigieg money inside, so they would have an incentive to help the corporate moderate in this race, Buttigieg, which then theoretically means that they would help him cheat in the election here. And look up basic videos, and what you see with this is that, like, for example, there's this punk, like, 20-year-old guy that does the coin flip. Because why? Well, because if there's a tied precinct, whoever gets the delegate is the guy who wants the coin flipped. Well, he flips the coin, right? And then he flips it like 3 other times. It's bogus. It's fudged results. And if you're going to have several precincts go like this, and to have all of these virtually go to Pete Buttigieg, statistically speaking, that's less than 2% of a probability for that to happen. So at some point you got to say either there's a huge amount of gross negligence in this election, or they're rigging it. And I would say, look, let's be centrist, let's be reasonable. It was both. Why? I had already enumerated the reasons why it would be a corrupt election with Pete's involvement and the Hillary involvement. We also have the malice against Biden. We have Biden doing especially bad. Even when he had surrogates like John Kerry help him in campaigning, it's completely ridiculous that he would score so low as to be below Warren, who was in the Senate anyway, talking about, impeachment. And Bernie was as well. And he was still losing. Amy Klobuchar, also almost at Biden level, about less than 4% away, and he's still losing to 3 other people on top of him. Joe Biden did terrible, and this just goes to show that Pete rigged it, right? How would he do so bad? Not even 16%, and then Buttigieg is at over 25. That means that he has bested his RCP average by like 8%, which is crazy. That's very rare that somebody overshoots their score by that much, and it's just astounding. And this just goes to show that Buttigieg did honestly cheat, and it's very patronizing for him to declare victory without any outsourced data coming from the internet. He's just using his own polling. How would he be so certain? Because he's in on it and he's rigging it. So that just goes to show. And why would he jump the gun anyway? Because it makes him look suspicious. He knows it. He's very intelligent. Well, because he needs the momentum he really
Tell you the
needs
new
it.
results that just came in while we fix this. The new results were up to 92% of the precincts reporting in Iowa in the basically the popular vote. The first, okay, here it is. Sorry, I really apologize. This thing has a mind of its own. Here it is. 92% in state delegate equivalents. Buttigieg continues to lead. The margin is 1%. Now, you can see in this latest update, Sanders has cut the gap. 513, you see here. 531 for Buttigieg. It's a gap of 18. Oh, it's a gap of 18. Somehow I just called up the Nebraska primary. 531 to 513. It was 24 before this, so he has cut that from 24 to 18. Still, to get that to 0 for Sanders might be difficult. There is also this popular vote, first preference, whatever you want to call it. Sanders continues to open up a wider lead here. Now it's approaching 5,000 votes here. Sanders over Buttigieg, again, with 92% in. So very difficult. I mean, almost impossible really to see Buttigieg catching Sanders in the popular vote at this point. When they did the reallocation, this whole thing, second choice, much tighter there, but still over 1,000. Sanders continues to lead Buttigieg on that. But it is when you get to the state delegate equivalents, this is the thing they traditionally use to award the winner. The state delegate equivalent is the unit that determines national convention delegates. This is where Buttigieg has the advantage. And again, it'll be tough for Sanders to overtake that, but he has just cut into it a little bit.
Two quick questions. One is, with state delegate equivalents roughly that close, the amount of convention delegates that Buttigieg and Sanders are going to come out of Iowa with are going to be the same number, right?
It may not be the same number. So I just take you through the Cliff's Notes version is some of the national conventions delegates are based on this statewide finish, but 2/3 of them are based on the results by congressional district.
Okay.
4 congressional districts in Iowa. You've got a little more variance built in there. In fact, I think Amy Klobuchar may even get a national convention delegate out of that. So I think we haven't seen a formal estimate here, but I think Buttigieg, if this holds, would probably be a couple higher than Sanders. I don't have the exact number, but not necessarily going to be even.
Okay, and the final question, it's such a Rube Goldberg machine. But when you go from the popular vote to the second alignment to the state delegate equivalent, the reason that Buttigieg comes out on top is because of the way they apportion based on the counties, right?
Yeah, I mean it's two things that are happening. There is some second choice element to this because of 5,000, almost 5,000 vote lead for Sanders. When you get those second preferences factored in, that does cut it down pretty significantly. So that's helping Buttigieg. But again, not getting him over the top. What gets him over the top? See if I can come up with a good example. Here's a good example of this. See purple. This is a college county, Poweshiek County, Grinnell College. Sanders did extremely well here. Warren didn't do bad. These two both did really well in college counties. Buttigieg getting buried at 13%. Now, in terms of the turnout, what the share of state delegates that comes out of Poweshiek is lower than the share that it accounts for in turnout, totally at odds with a place like this, where a rural county that gets more bang for its buck. That's what's putting Buttigieg over the top in state delegate equivalents.
All right, Steve Kornacki, thank you so much for being with me.
Thanks for bearing with me there.
No, you're great. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
Let's not entertain this fool. He is completely, outrageously pompous and arrogant to the extent that nobody has ever seen in such a long time. Talk about opportunism, Machiavellianism, and overall douchebaggery. Just completely disgusting. Again. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. I hope I didn't sound too biased. Psych, yeah, I did, and I don't regret it. He's a terrible person. Okay, I'm sorry. Bye. Bye with all that. Miss me with all that crap, honestly.
You get that delegate.
Okay, good night.